The idea that American tariffs on China could be bad for the United States and lead to a backlash has been a topic of debate among economists, policymakers, and businesses. Here are some key points that explain why this argument is made. Higher costs for consumers. Tariffs on Chinese goods often result in higher prices for imported products. Many of these products, such as electronics, clothing, and machinery, are staples for American consumers and businesses. Supply chain disruptions. Many American companies rely on Chinese components and materials. Tariffs increase costs, potentially making U.S. products less competitive globally. Retaliation from China. China typically imposes its own tariffs on U.S. exports in response, affecting American industries like agriculture, automotive, and manufacturing. Market instability. Escalating tariffs contribute to global economic uncertainty, making businesses hesitant to invest or expand. Shift in supply chains. U.S. companies might move production to other countries, not necessarily back to the United States, diminishing the intended benefit of tariffs to boost domestic manufacturing. Loss of market share. U.S. exporters might lose their foothold in the Chinese market as China finds alternative suppliers. Diplomatic strain. Prolonged trade tensions can weaken U.S.-China relations, making cooperation on critical issues like climate change, technology, and global security more challenging. Global isolation. Other nations may view U.S. protectionism as a sign of retreat from global trade leadership, opening the door for China to take a larger role in international trade agreements. Potential backlash in the U.S. political resistance. Businesses and consumers affected by higher costs may push back against policymakers. Economic slowdown. If tariffs significantly harm key sectors, they could lead to job losses and slower economic growth. Public sentiment. Rising prices and economic hardship may lead to dissatisfaction with government policies. Conclusion. While tariffs are intended to reduce dependency on Chinese imports and encourage domestic production, the ripple effects, higher consumer costs, strained international relations, and retaliation could harm the U.S. economy. Striking a balance between protecting domestic interests and maintaining healthy trade relations is crucial to avoid long-term backlash. Would you like further details or help expanding this topic? If the U.S. imposes tariffs on China, several types of businesses could be negatively impacted due to higher costs, disrupted supply chains, and retaliatory actions by China. Here's a breakdown of the industries likely to be most affected. Consumer electronics, products, smartphones, laptops, televisions, and other electronic devices. Why impacted? Many American brands like Apple rely heavily on manufacturing in China or importing components. Tariffs would increase production costs, leading to higher prices for consumers. Retail and apparel, products, clothing, shoes, toys, and accessories. Why impacted? A significant portion of retail goods sold in the U.S. are manufactured in China. Companies like Walmart and Target, which sell affordable goods, might pass higher costs to consumers or face squeezed profit margins. Automotive industry, products, cars, parts, and batteries for electric vehicles. Why impacted? Tariffs on Chinese-made components like tires, batteries, and electronics would increase manufacturing costs for U.S. car companies, making vehicles more expensive. Technology and telecommunications, products, semiconductors, networking equipment, and telecommunications devices. Why impacted? American tech companies often rely on Chinese factories for assembly and components. Tariffs could hurt companies like Cisco, Dell, and Qualcomm, which might lose competitiveness. Agriculture, products, soybeans, corn, pork, and other exports to China. Why impacted? China is a major buyer of American agricultural products. Retaliatory tariffs by China could reduce demand, leaving U.S. farmers with surplus crops and falling prices. Manufacturing, products, machinery, equipment, and industrial components. Why impacted? Many U.S. manufacturers import parts and raw materials from China. Tariffs raise costs, making it harder to produce competitively priced goods. Consumer goods and home products, products like furniture, appliances, and home decor. Why are they impacted? Well, many of these goods are imported from China due to lower manufacturing costs. Tariffs would lead to price hikes, discouraging consumer purchases. Renewable energy. Products, solar panels, wind turbines, and batteries. Why impacted? A large share of the world's solar panels and renewable energy components are produced in China. Tariffs could hinder the U.S.'s transition to clean energy by raising costs. Small businesses. Why impacted? Many small businesses rely on importing affordable goods from China to remain competitive. Tariffs would force them to increase prices or absorb losses, potentially driving some out of business. Travel and tourism. Why impacted? If trade tensions escalate, Chinese tourists and students may reduce their visits to the US, impacting sectors like hospitality, airlines, and higher education. Conclusion. Industries reliant on global supply chains, cost-sensitive products, and exports to China will feel the greatest impact of tariffs. The cascading effects could also hurt American consumers through higher prices, reduced product variety, and slower economic growth. Let me know if you'd like help creating content or further exploring this topic. This video is made by Majesty AZ. He spent 45 years in America trying to heal his nation. He is from the last great royal family and a hero of Iran. They living in a real castle in the same area that Persian King Cyrus the Great once ruled. Iran has thousands of years of history, contributing many beautiful things to the world, from the Constitution of Europe and America, to the YouTube algorithm and the halo on top of Jesus's head. 2,500 years ago, Cyrus the Great introduced the first human rights in history. The Jewish Holy Book says Persian King Cyrus is a Jewish Messiah who freed the Jews. Jews lived in Iran, Persia, for 2,700 years. We all should strive for a better world where everyone can live in peace.